Klaus, lo dicho, muchísimas gracias por unirte al grupo. Hoy es la primera edición del Flight Levels en español de One Map y tenemos aquí un montón de gente con muchas ganas de conocerte. Y mi primera pregunta que me surge hacerte es, ¿por qué Flight Levels? ¿Qué problema resuelve Flight Levels?
So this is the question. What problem does flight level solve? Did I get
Yes.
this correctly? Yes, perfect. Cool.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm trying to get used to it. Well, that's actually an interesting question. Well, I think at least how I perceive flight levels, it's a very lightweight and cost-effective approach for something like modern organizational development. So what you're actually doing is you are I don't know, introducing improvements into your organization on a quite lightweight way. And this is where flight level actually can guide you through how to do it. Yeah, this is how I would describe it.
Great. So, and what's the difference between flight levels and working on some agile methodologies or directly into the org chart because you can restructure the organization using the org chart?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
But I think that's one of the main things that differentiates flight levels from many methods. So it's two things. One thing is methods, they know the truth. So it's like, okay, we have this book, and this book is the truth, and you totally need to follow the book. And if you don't do it, I don't know, save less Kanban, Scrum police will put you into jail or something like this. Flight level is very, let's say, open-minded. So allowed is what makes sense. So it's not a recipe you need to follow. Flight level is more something like which helps you to identify the levers in your organization you need to pull in order to see the results that you want to see. So it's more like a tool that helps you to figure out what is the right thing to do in your particular context. And I think that's the important thing.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not like one solution for each and every organization on this planet. With flight levels, you find your solution. And the second thing, Josep, what you were mentioning is this org chart kind of thing. And I think that's also a quite important thing because many organizational changes start by like shuffling around people in the organization. So you start with the org chart, you modify the org chart. And in flight levels land, it's more like let's focus on the operational structure first. So let's try to establish something like, I don't know, we can call it maybe enterprise flow, where work flies through the organization in a very smooth way. And when we see that our operational structure might get into our way, organizational structure, sorry, we can probably do a small reorganization somewhere. But flight levels is not about reorganizing first and then let's hope if everything turns out. It's more like let's try to figure out how we can deliver value to the customers first, and maybe in a later step we can change the org chart if we have to, but that's not the starting point.
Y la manera de hacer esto entiendo que es a través del nivel 2 porque el nivel 1 son los equipos que en casi todas las empresas ya existen. El nivel 3 es la estrategia que se supone que también existe. Aquí el elemento nuevo es el nivel de vuelo 2. ¿Cómo describiríamos qué es eso del nivel de vuelo 2?
So maybe two things that come into my mind. So if you take a look at flight level 3, 2, and flight level 1. Flight level 1, the operational level, this is where people actually do the operational work, right? They take the keyboard and type. Flight level 2 is coordination. So we make sure that the right team is working on the right stuff at the right time. So it's coordination. And the thing is, when it comes to flight level 2, we actually don't care where in the org chart these people are. So you just bring the right people together in order to create value for your customer. And I don't care if you are in department X or team Y or whatever. We are focusing on the value for the customer, right? So it's a lot about delivering value. And flight level 3 is about strategy, making strategy happen. Usually strategy lives somewhere in PowerPoint slides. And what we want to do on the flight level 3, we want to break free from PowerPoint. We want to break free from PowerPoint and make strategy happen. So, and this is why we are connecting the strategic parts to the operations. And you link it with the flight level 2 so that you can deliver your strategy to the organization. And that's kind of the idea behind these 3 levels. I hope this answers your question.
Sí, sí, absolutely. I would like to open the microphone to all the people in the room who wants to speak directly to Klaus. Is there any question there?
Yeah, I can ask a question. So, sir, nice to meet you. My pleasure. In your experience, how long it takes to shift the mentality of a company, of an enterprise, to start operating in flight levels?
I think it's not too difficult. I mean, of course, it depends on what kind of company you are. So if you are like, I don't know, the startup company, next door startup, we have 20 people or 10 people or something like this, it might be a little bit easier compared to a bank with, I don't know, hundreds of people or thousands of people working there. That's, of course, a difference. But there's one thing why I think flight levels is quite easy to get started with flight levels, and this is you don't invent something new. If you think of these 3 levels, they are already there. I mean, in each and every organization, you see people who are working. So this is flight level 1, right? You are coordinating the teams already. Like, because you need multiple teams to deliver value, right? So you also have a flight level 2. And hopefully you also have something like a strategy. And I think each and every company has a kind of strategy. So we are thinking of, okay, where do we want to be in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years? So flight level 3 is also there. So what we actually do with flight levels is we make these 3 flight levels visible because they are already there. So it's not that you need to fundamentally change the way how you work. It's more like we help you see how you are currently working. And based on your understanding, you are choosing the steps that you want to change. And depending on how brave you are, you can do big steps or you can do smaller steps. So, and that's why I think it's not so difficult to get into it, because you can somehow adjust the degree of change that you want to introduce into the company. So figure out how much change does your company actually, what is okay for them, and based on this, you can start quite easily, and you take people with you. That's the point. Yeah.
Thank you.
Más preguntas. ¿Quién se anima? Klaus, algunos ejemplos de niveles de vuelo 2, ¿cuáles son los más habituales en una empresa?
Examples of flight level 2 which are common. So sorry, it takes a little bit until the translation is ready. What are examples for flight level 2? So it's in the essence, everything that makes your customers happy, kind of. So if you have something like products, a product is a perfect flight level 2 system, for instance. or some services, product groups. But it could be, this is like really like customer facing products and services. But it could be also like internal things, something like, I don't know, a platform. So if you're in software development, you know, platforms, there's also quite a lot of platforms in hardware development. All these kind of things, this could be also good flight level 2 systems. So I always try to think of flight level 2 in a way that I can say, is this something that I can sell directly to a customer? Yeah, then it's always a good bet that this is a flight level 2. But also, maybe it's an internal service. Yeah, but if we could create another company, and this company is selling this service to customers, like for instance, marketing or something like this. Yeah. So we could open a marketing agency maybe with our marketing people. So if this is the case, this could be also a flight level 2 system. So I always try to completely detach from the org chart. Usually I don't see many flight level 2 systems on the org chart. It's more these kind of things where you are delivering value, internal or external value.
Yeah. Maybe quizá alguno de los Flight Level 2 que coinciden con el Flight Level 1 podría ser quizá un equipo de producto que se ha reorganizado en un equipo. Podría ser un caso que serían iguales, ¿no?
I'm not sure if this translation makes sense. I'm sorry.
No, the thing is, maybe a product team where you have different people joining, creating a team for delivering a product. This could be an example of a flight level 2, which is exactly the flight level 1. There's a match there.
Yes, exactly. Perfect. Yeah. So yes, it's end-to-end delivery, and if you're able like to do it within one operational unit, perfect. Yeah, totally agree.
Klaus, I'm a little bit obsessed with the word system, and today it came into the game. What is a system, and why do you need 5 activities to create a system?
Yeah. What is a system? Well, maybe if you've seen something like a flight level 1 or a flight level 2 or a flight level 3 board, yeah. So the board is something like a visual representation of what's going on, yeah. And a system in the flight level sense, like a flight level systems, is this visual representation of what's going on, but it's more than only the board. It's also all the human interactions that take place in front of this board. So for me, like a work system is really like the way how we treat work plus all the interactions, all the communication and all these kind of things, this human part, that's also part of it. So usually we don't build flight level boards because a flight level board is just like a dead object. We want to create flight level systems. So because the board itself doesn't improve anything, it's a dead object, right? You need human beings who are making sense out of it. And that's when we call it a system. Yeah.
Even metrics could be part of the system. So how you measure success, this is another way of.
Totally, it's also a
That's
visual
great.
representation actually of metrics. Like you measure, you're thinking of, I don't know, maybe speed or value or something like this. Yes, totally. This is all part of the work system.
I think one of the proposals of flight levels is to start looking at the company as a group of systems. It's not just a group of teams, which is the flight level 1. It's a group of systems which are interconnected between them.
You can maybe even say a network. That's why, have you already talked about the work systems topology?
No, that's tomorrow.
Not yet. That's
Not
tomorrow.
yet.
Okay, because the
but
work
you can make a spoiler.
No, not really a spoiler, but I like network, and there's a reason why we call the work systems topology a work systems topology, because that's kind of how a network structure looks like. So yeah, it's like a network of roads, maybe. Yeah, maybe something like a map. Yeah, so this is what we how we see flight levels. So it's not a hierarchical structure. It's more like you're connecting the work systems in your organization in order to create value for the customer.
Great.
I hope I didn't spoil too much for tomorrow.
No, that's great. You put the lamp in front of me perfectly. So, Klaus, one last question. Which is the one single tip you would give to these people if they want to start exploring and implementing flight levels in their context?
Book many trainings with Giuseppe. No, I mean, of course, yes, but that's one thing. How to start? I think if there is one fundamental principles in flight levels, then never build something for people, build it with the people. So you will build a flight level systems architecture here, work system topology, flight routes, many things, right? And you will see the degree of complexity is quite high. And you really need to understand how your company actually operates, how the company works. And I bet you alone don't have the entire knowledge. So you need others on board to build it. And you need those people on board who are actually using it later. So never ever build something for people, build it with the people. That's also, something where you get the people on board. Like I want to follow up to Mariana's question from before. This is one part where you also, so if you have the people on board, resistance is also much lower, and you have the right information on board. Yeah.
That's gold. Thanks a lot, Klaus. Thanks a lot for joining us today and for your time. And
Pleasure.
I hope, this amazing group of people has learned a lot from you. And I will keep you updated the progress of this training.
Perfect. Enjoy your training with Giuseppe, and Giuseppe, have fun. And
Thank you,
everybody else
Klaus.
as well.
Thanks a lot.
See you.
Go. Goodbye. And for me,
Bye-bye.
it's beer o'clock now. Goodbye.
Okay.
Enjoy it.
Beer
Enjoy
o'clock.
it.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.